life here will end. And if we're going to do something for the Lord and to please Him and so on, we need to be doing it now. We don't know when that day will come that He takes us home. But notice how he continues. He says, slothfulness casts into a deep sleep. And I think the idea grows here that laziness is self perpetuating. The lazy person doesn't do much because he's lazy. And then that feeling eventually brings on the idea that he can't do anything. And he continues to not do much because he doesn't feel like doing anything. And it's just an endless cycle that goes around and around. And so then it becomes a habit. Laziness becomes a habit, and it's hard to rouse yourself out of that habit. And that's the picture that he's portraying here. Slothfulness cast into a deep sleep. Then the next line, he says, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Now, the idle person that he's talking about here, that doesn't necessarily mean total inactivity, but it's one who works half-heartedly. Why put all that effort out? And this person then engages in idleness. It's doing it half-heartedly. And we need the perspective that God is watching everything we do, hearing everything we say, watching everything that we do. Back in 1971, I was given a trip to Israel. And part of that trip, we went to Rome. And we're looking at the historic sites in Rome and so on. And we had a free day there, and some of us just kind of started out walking in this interesting area, see what we would find. And we wound up in a Catholic church in Rome. But what's significant for tourists about that church is the famous statue, a sculpture by Michelangelo of Moses is in that church. And so we wanted to see that. And it's magnificent. I mean, the detail of Michelangelo in doing that. But something I learned from that, never gave it a thought, but that great sculpture is pushed up against the wall, being over against that wall. You have no idea what the backside of Moses looks like. But people who study it said, there was much God can see it. So therefore, I don't want to slack off because he can see it. It's a tremendous, tremendous lesson. But he says in this line, and the idle person will suffer hunger. Turn back to Proverbs 10, 4 and 5, where Solomon has talked about this. Proverbs 10, 4 and 5. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. But he's presented that to us before, that this slack hand, lazy hand, and so on, it's going to result in poverty. You're not going to be very successful. And in those days, they didn't have a welfare